Good evening and welcome back. This is the start of a series that I'm calling Essential Entourage, where I highlight specific coaches and trainers that are relatively obtainable by all levels of the game and why they should be maxed out on your roster. Instead of going over move sets for this particular card, we're going to talk about what their training and coaching abilities are, and then show off move sets for a couple of other cards that they particularly help out. For the first episode, I think Mosh is a good place to start. Mosh is a multiply gem trainer, a space that is typically dominated by the 2 MP plus 1 multiply series of trainers, Showboat Matt Hardy, and Sherry. Mosh is interesting in that he generates more multiplies as well as increases their strength. Down here at 25k, multiply gems generated from moves will increase their strength by 1. Moves that generate multiply gems will create 5 more multiply gems. So he simply throws out more multiply gems. Now, important to note 2 things. 1, if you have Sherry, run Sherry. Sherry is almost always going to be better. I cannot think off the top of my head of a use case scenario where Sherry is not better than Mosh. But Sherry is not exactly the most obtainable of wrestlers to get in this game. The second thing to take note of is that Mosh does not affect moves that create a range of multiplies. And what I mean by range is like a row or a column or a 3x3 or a 1x3, stuff like that. It is only place gems or random gems. Okay, there's the 2 drawbacks to Mosh. Other than that, it's very strong because you're adding 5 more multiplies, and generated from moves will increase by 1. That is a pretty significant boost to multiplies across the board. Since Mosh is a trainer, it is important to note that the driver of the cards in question need to have MP below 6 or a way to boost MP outside of trainers. So gear is fine. A few line bonuses are fine. Tour perks are fine. You can kind of work around all of that stuff. But 6 is kind of the sweet spot because you can use a 4 MP trainer, Santa, and yourself for 1. And that's how you get 6 MP loaded turn 1. The first card we're going to use is going to be Showboat Charlotte. Showboat Charlotte has been extremely popular since her rework. And many people have worked her up on their rosters, myself included. And the reason I like Mosh with Showboat Charlotte is because he throws out extra multiplies. Her moveset, Natural Selection, make 29 rando gems, and the multiply gems of strength 2 is only 1 MP, so it's always loaded. And then overhead belly to belly, destroy 29 random multiply gems. Mosh is going to bump this up to 3 and create 5 more random gems, which is useful if you use a gem chucker plate. The gem chucker plate I have here is black to yellow. It doesn't matter the initial color as long as it throws yellow. Yellow is Charlotte's primary color, so it does the most damage. Okay, so that's kind of what we want to target. After breaking 29 multiplied gems, if there's no cascade, there's going to be 5 multis left. We're hoping the gem chucker grabs at least 1, 2, maybe 3 of them. The strap I'm using is 100% damage, and then 40% each from 2 sets of Fury 2s, and then a 35% metal. The Entourage is Kofi for plus 4 yellow MP, so we can have the yellow move loaded. We are using Mosh, so we are making 34 rando gems and multiply gems of strength 3. And then we're going to use Striker Strowman, yellow gems do 25% more damage. And then we're going to use Miz, multiply gems do 15% more damage. You can use all sorts of things here. These are what I feel like are relatively obtainable cards, which is why I'm using them. But the zombie coaches would be fine here. Zombie Taker would be fine here. Leo would be good here. Flat yellow gem damage would be good here. Striker Brett, the new one, would be good here because he is 35% green, 35% yellow, 35% multi, etc. There's a lot of options. I'm just picking these two because they're relatively common. We're going to go against 6-star silver Steph McMahon. Gameplay loop here. I mean, at Showboat Charlotte, it's very easy. It's a 2-click. Here's all of the multis. We're going to break 29 of them. And then we're going to hope that the Gem Chucker manages to break 1 multiply. It didn't. They're all still left on the board, and that's okay. The problem with Gem Chuckers and the benefit of Gem Chuckers, it's a double-edged sword, is that sometimes they'll hit for you, sometimes they won't. The second card we're going to use is going to be Striker Batista. Striker Batista is a free-to-play card that is pretty recent. And I find that his best moveset, or the one that I like the most, he's very versatile as a card, but the one I like the most is Red, Red, Green. And we are using Tour Perks for this one. However, you can make this work in feuds with Hollywood Hogan and Santa Hogan. So our moveset here is the spear. Choose 3 gems to make into red, and then make a row of pyro that are pyro green. So to turn the entire board from the bottom up into greens. Spinebuster, make 10 rando gems and multiply gems of strength 2. And then vertical suplex power slam, make 28 pyros into red. Okay. Entourage is a little more high powered here. I am using steel for 4 green MP, and then I'm using Tour Perks to load everything else up. Mosh will throw out all of the multi gems. Here we do have Striker Brett, yellow, green, and then what's not seen is the multi plus 30. And then we do have Zombie Chelsea. Green gems do 30% more damage, multiplied gems do 60% more damage. Belt is nothing special. It's 25% extra turn. Double Fury 2s, 35% metal right here. I'm not even running plates. It is important to note, I do have the moment. The moment really, I don't have it leveled up enough. It's only level 16. See, we are getting 1 extra multi from the moment. We are getting 22% more damage from the moment. And the 1 row of pyros does 44% more damage. I just don't have the shards to level it up. If you have this moment leveled up, this gets much better. You can see by saying max. Plus 4 is huge. 50% more damage of green. He makes the whole board green. And the pyros do 100. And some, safety right here. Striker Batista, by the way, he's a good card, especially for free to play. He's got a couple of different movesets that are pretty solid. If you feel like you're lacking in the striker department, especially the ruthless aggression era striker department, move up Batista. This is a 6 MP move. I didn't talk about it in the Entourage. You can add Santa and Hollywood Hogan. Hollywood Hogan would help refill the red moves, since they're not going to have that +3 in feuds, except for like line bonus, etc., etc., etc. And Santa gets this charged turn 1 while still being able to use Mosh. Okay. We need to create a 5 break. Oop, that's a bad one right there. So let's do this. Nope, that's also a bad one. Let's do... Nope. That's probably going to be bad too. Let's try that there. Well, that was awesome. That's all right. We can kind of just do it again as if nothing ever happened. Here's our row of pyros. Now we're going to throw out all those multis. And then we're going to turn the board green. There we go. That's not a maximized setup by any means. It is 6-star gold. It did 5-star gold. It did 2.6 million damage. And that can increase. But adding all of those multiplies was significantly better than what you're going to be able to get out of Showboat Hardy. For the third one, we're going to actually go to Big Boy, Joe Gacy. And we're going to use his captive tour because it's easy. Joe Gacy right now is plus 99. I am a big fan of plus 99. I'm also just kind of a big fan of using what the game gives you. The game's going to give you plus 99, use plus 99. I know when you're evaluating cards and thinking long term and for the future, you have to realize that plus 99 is gone. But while we've got it, shoot, might as well use it. So that's what we're going to do here. Moveset, I'm only going to 2-click. It's going to be drop a whole bunch of rows and then make a bunch of multis into strength 8, which will be 9 because of Mosh. And then essentially break the board because you're going to choose a 2/6 area into red and you're going to target a whole bunch of row breaks and you're going to try to break the entire board. Okay. Entourage, Mosh, you're just going to make more multis and then of strength 9. For this one, I'm using Acro Balor. Multiplied gems do 38% more damage, and moves that generate multiplied gems will create one more. So we're throwing even one more multi out. I am using Tech Stacy for the flat red gem damage, and then because we're making 12 of them, and then I'm using Striker, Bradshaw, row break gems do 75% more damage. And like I said, it's going to be a 2-click. Going up against Brutus Creed, he has no chance. But you'll be able to see the damage total. This is a relatively maxed out 5-star silver. I didn't go over the strap because the strap is completely locked down. I don't have any metals on it whatsoever. This is essentially a strapless build. We're going to put it here. Ideally, that would be a row break, or we'd have a row break red up top or a row break red down bottom so we can wipe the board. Not going to be able to do it this time, and that's okay. 1.7 million damage. At 5-star silver with a plus 99 card. Again, if you have plus 99, abuse it. Load up the entourage, load up the coaches, full of damage, and roll with it. So there are 3 different use cases for Mosh. There are others. The fact that he adds 1 strength to all multiplied gems and then throws out 5 more in more cases than not makes him a better option than Matt Hardy, who only increases multiplied gems by 2. So he will increase your damage output all across the board. He is a very easily obtainable card. The majority of us probably have him on the roster already, ready to rock. So I think he's one of those that you got to work up. You got to have him. He works all over the place, and it's going to make your experience a lot better if you do have him. If you've learned anything tonight, if you've been entertained by anything tonight, or if you just like the sound of my voice, do me a favor. Consider subscribing, consider liking, consider sharing my video to a couple of your other faction mates. I'll talk to you next time.